The Psoriasis Journey, Part 2. Psoriasis didn't just take a physical toll. One thing became more noticeable, as my treatment options ran out. I felt less happy in myself. Less assured. My moods changed, and I had to work harder at being my usual cheerful self. Even though I had sympathetic people around me, I felt isolated, as if I was unusual or strange. Psoriasis is a condition that works on your body, but also on your mind. I am a naturally optimistic person, but I knew nobody really understood what it was like for me. Psoriasis was affecting how I felt about relationships, work, and life itself. Avoiding new people whenever possible, avoiding career moves that put me in front of new people, wearing long sleeves and long trousers, even in hot weather, to cover up ugly patches of skin, making contingency plans in case I had a flare-up. It all meant I wasn't controlling my psoriasis, it was controlling me. And I knew it. But after the PUVA treatment failed, I doubted I'd ever get rid of it. My GP had suggested early on that I speak to other sufferers. He said it would be good for me to know I wasn't the only one with this. I finally reached a stage where that seemed like a good idea. It was a good idea. But it also wasn't. It was heartening for a while to communicate on forums with people who were going through what I was going through. I realized I wasn't alone. And there is some comfort in that. But I could also see that many of those sufferers had had their psoriasis for years. Many years. 20 or more in some cases. The thought of that being my fate sent my mood crashing. I was reaching a state of despair. I had already had more than enough. My own psoriasis had worsened slowly over the years. I could see that it had for others too. I didn't know where it was going to end. But one day, while reading through other sufferers' comments, I had a huge stroke of luck. It's the stroke of luck that has me here writing to you today. As an ex-psoriasis sufferer. If I hadn't read a chance comment, I would undoubtedly still be suffering today. Here's what happened. In one of the old forums I used to read, somebody there talked about handling the triggers for psoriasis. The underlying causes. They said there were alternative treatments that were actually working. They worked because they tackled psoriasis from a completely different angle. They went into the real cause of the condition, rather than working on the symptoms. I'd heard of this before, but, really, my focus was on conventional treatments. Drugs. Procedures. Things involving specialists. I didn't go in for that alternative stuff, because I figured modern medicine was pretty darned advanced now. Alternative remedies are fine if you've got nothing better to do, but if modern medicine can't cure it, then we'll just have to wait until they can. Right. But here's the shocker. We can actually significantly reduce or completely remove psoriasis. And we've known how to for many years. The underlying causes of the psoriasis chain might not be intricately understood, but it's well enough understood that many sufferers can reduce or end their condition in weeks. There are no drugs involved though. No procedures. So no medical bills or charges. No fees for specialists, and no ongoing business for the pharmaceutical companies. No profit, in other words. Which might explain why modern medicine isn't more enthusiastic about the remedy for psoriasis. But it's there and people are using it. Here's how it works. The basics of psoriasis. If you have psoriasis, then you may already know quite a few things about your condition. Your GP told you things. So did your dermatologist. So did Google. But you've still got it. Which is exactly what happened to me. I ended up knowing a lot, but still having psoriasis. You and I will know some of the same things. But I learned a couple of key distinctions about psoriasis that weren't emphasized by my specialists. They made all the difference, as you'll see in a few moments. So here's what I learned. First, you and I already know that psoriasis isn't a skin condition. We know it's an inflammation problem, and that it's connected to our immune systems going wrong. It's believed that our immune system malfunctions, and our fighter cells, the T cells, attack healthy skin by mistake. That T cell activity leads to ongoing, chronic inflammation. The inflammation leads to the flaky, red, itchy skin condition that psoriasis sufferers are so used to. Worse, to replace skin cells that are being attacked, our bodies produce new cells at a faster rate, which the immune system then attacks via more T cells. In healthy people, new skin cells are produced at the deepest level of our skin. They move up gradually until they reach the surface, and then they die and flake off. This takes 3 to 4 weeks. If you have psoriasis, however, this all takes place in 3 to 7 days. There's a kind of frenzied loop going on here where one activity, T cells attacking healthy skin cells, leads to more skin cells being produced, which in turn leads to more T cell activity. And the inflammation caused by the T cell attacks contributes to the red, itchy, flaky skin condition we know as psoriasis. And to all the well-documented misery of being a person with psoriasis. Why is all this happening? Environmental factors and genes are the primary causes of this malfunction. I'll quickly explain those. Environmental factors. In this case, these largely refer to a. Things we inhale, eat, drink or put on our skin. B. Less well-known, but vitally important, factors such as mood, thoughts, state of mind, self-esteem. Specifically, chemicals in our environment can play havoc with our immune systems. For psoriasis sufferers, this can lead directly to the dysfunctional immune system activity that creates the inflammation that we see as psoriasis. These environmental factors are huge. And they are now well-known contributors not only to psoriasis, but also to a wide range of human diseases and conditions, allergies, asthma, lowered fertility, some cancers and lots of other ailments. Genetic factors. There can be a genetic link between sufferers, which is why it runs in some families. I heard of lots of people who had a parent who also had the condition. And then you'd have siblings where one has it and the other doesn't. One person told me that he and his youngest sister had psoriasis, while the middle sibling had never had it. Which was odd, in a way. All 3 of them would have had the gene. Yet only 2 of them got the condition. And this is where asking the right questions leads to the right answers. So why do some people have the psoriasis gene, but no psoriasis? It was disheartening to learn that psoriasis was genetically determined. You have the psoriasis gene? Then you'll get psoriasis. And there's nothing you can do about it. Turns out, however, that this is completely untrue. Because genes don't cause psoriasis. It's genes plus triggers. One without the other will not cause psoriasis. The wrong genes might make you more susceptible to psoriasis. But they don't directly cause it. You need other things. Triggers, basically. Get rid of those other things and, guess what? You've got rid of the reasons to have psoriasis in the first place. The triggers are varied, but they're mostly in your environment, your personal environment. What you eat and drink, how you think and feel. But that's such a key insight. My skin condition was the end result of other factors. It's like a chain. There's a series of links. One link in the chain leads to another. Psoriasis is the last link, the end result. Clearly, if you break the chain somewhere, you don't get that end result. I couldn't switch off my psoriasis gene. But could I make sure it never activated? Breaking the chain, and making my psoriasis vanish. Well, it turns out the chain can be broken. If you tackle the condition at the environment level, then you're on to a winner. Because a healthy environment means no triggers for the psoriasis gene. So let me tell you how I got rid of my psoriasis. You want to make the right choice for yourself. And I want you to make the right choice for yourself. You need details to do that. Here's what happened for me. I first heard of Julissa clay in one of the old psoriasis forums I used to visit. There had been a lively discussion about how various environmental factors created problems for your skin. And some contributors said they experienced noticeable improvements from simple changes made to their lifestyles. Julissa's name came up a few times in relation to her natural and effective approach to remedying common but persistent ailments. I followed up with Julissa and I uncovered some really insightful stuff from her. Here's what Julissa told me. The causes of inflammation have been known for years. There are several culprits, but these are the main ones. Diet. Lifestyle. Man-made products. These are pretty much the components of any man or woman's personal environment. They actually account for a substantial amount of anyone's health. Get these things wrong, and there are always going to be negative consequences. Get them right, and you're likely to enjoy consistently excellent health, energy, strong immunity, enhanced sense of well-being, and good skin. Julissa told me that if I addressed the mistakes I was making in these areas, then I would also be addressing the underlying causes of the inflammation that caused my psoriasis. She helped me understand exactly how these components were ruining my skin. Stay tuned for the psoriasis journey, part 3.